My name is Bill Jones with recapturefederalism.com and also operationofficialmisconduct.com. Today's topic of discussion is Section 8 on the combination of legal and illegal work. And this is from the guidelines on the organizational structure of the Communist parties, on the methods and content of their work. This is the last in this official, if you will, series. We will be contacting and doing additional podcasts on individual sections and paragraphs. But this is the completing of the reading of this, and I hope you're all as happy as I am about this ending. To me, it's somewhat difficult reading, and I'm not a professional newscaster. Primarily because most of the newscasters and those people are party press, as you can understand from previous sections. This one's interesting, though. It's a combination of legal and illegal work. Illegal work. What does that mean? Illegal work. Well, if you do something illegal, I guess it's a crime, isn't it? It's against the law. They're actually admitting that they're criminals. Their work is criminal in nature. Isn't that interesting? They operate in secrecy. No one's attempted to stop them. But this is where Operation Official Misconduct comes in. You see, if a public official is operating in a criminal nature, that's by its very definition official misconduct. Official misconduct by official, failure to carry out his duties, perjury by failing to take a truthful oath, are felonies. But we'll continue on, and we'll talk about that later in another podcast, and we'll finish the reading here, Section 8. Section 8 on the combination of legal and illegal work. 53. Corresponding to the different phases in the process of the revolution, changes in function can occur in the daily life of every Communist Party. Basically, however, there is no essential difference in the party structure which a legal party on the one hand and an illegal party on the other hand must strive for. The party must be organized so that it can at all times adapt itself quickly to changes in the conditions of struggle. The Communist Party must develop itself into a combat organization capable, on the one hand, of avoiding open encounters with an enemy possessing overwhelming superior forces who has amassed all of its strength at one point, but on the other hand, also capable of exploiting this enemy's unwillingness, striking him when and where at least he least expects the attack. It would be the gravest error for the party organization to prepare for and expect only insurrections and street fighting, or only conditions of the most severe repression. Communists must carry out their preparatory revolutionary work in every situation and always be on combat footing, because it is often almost impossible to predict the alternation between a period of upheaval and a period of quiescence. Even in the cases where such foresight is possible, it cannot generally be used to reorganize the party, because the change usually occurs in a very short time, indeed, often quite suddenly. The legal communist parties in the capitalist countries generally have not yet sufficiently grasped that it is their task to understand how the party should properly arm itself for a revolutionary uprising. For armed struggle, or illegal struggle in general, the entire party organization is built much too one-sidedly on an enduring legality, and is organized according to the requirements of legal day-to-day tasks. In the illegal parties, in contrast, there is often insufficient understanding of the possibilities for exploiting legal activity and for building a party organization in living contact with revolutionary masses. In this case, party work shows a tendency to remain fruitless Scythian labor and impotent conspiracy. Both are wrong. Every legal communist party must know how to ensure maximal combat readiness if it should have to go underground, and it must be armed particularly for the outbreak of revolutionary uprising. In turn, every illegal communist party must energetically exploit the opportunities provided by the legal workers' movement in order to develop through intensive party work into the organizer and actual leader of the great revolutionary masses. The leadership of legal and of illegal work must always be in the hands of the same unitary central party leadership. 55. Within both the legal and illegal parties, illegal communist organization work is often conceived of as the creation and maintenance of a closed, exclusionary military organization, isolated from the rest of the party work and party organization. That is completely wrong. On the contrary, in the pre-revolutionary period of our combat organization must be built primarily through general communist party work. The entire party should be trained as a combat organization for the revolution. Isolated revolutionary military organization established too soon before the revolution are very apt to show tendencies towards dissolution and demoralization because there is a lack of directly useful party work for them to do. For an illegal party, it is obviously of critical importance in all of its work to protect its members and bodies from discovery and not to expose them by, for example, membership registration, careless dues collection, or literature distribution. Therefore, it cannot use open forms of organization for conspiratorial purposes to the same degree as a legal party, but it can learn to do so to an increasing extent. All precautionary measures must be taken to prevent the penetration of dubious or unreliable elements into the party. The methods to be used will depend very largely on whether the party is legal or illegal, persecuted or tolerated, growing rapidly or stagnating. One method which can be proved successful here and there under certain circumstances is the system of candidacy. Under this system, an applicant for membership in the party is admitted first as a candidate on the recommendation of one or two party comrades. Whether he can be admitted as a member is dependent upon his proving himself in the party work assigned to him. Inevitably, the bourgeois will try to send spies and provocateurs into illegal organization. This must be fought with the utmost care and persistence. One method in this fight is the skillful combination of legal and illegal work. Prolonged legal revolutionary work is absolutely the best way to test who is reliable, courageous, conscientious, energetic, adroit, punctual enough to be entrusted with important assignments suited to his abilities in illegal work. A legal party should consistently improve its defensive measures to avoid being taken by surprise. For example, by keeping cover addresses in a safe place. As a rule, destroying letters, putting necessary documents in safekeeping, giving its couriers conspiratorial training, etc. 57. It follows that our overall party work must be distributed in such a way that even before open revolutionary uprising, the roots of combat organization corresponding to the requirements of this stage develop and take hold. It is especially important that the Communist Party leadership constantly keep these requirements in mind, and that it try to extend possible to form a clear conception of them in advance. Naturally, this conception can never be exact and clear through a priori. But that is no reason to disregard this most important aspect of the communist organizational leadership. For when the open revolutionary uprising, the Communist Party is faced with the greatest change in the function of its life. This change can pose very difficult and complicated tasks for even the best organized party. It may be a matter of mobilizing our political party for military combat within a few days, and not only the party but also its reserves, its organizations of sympathizers, indeed even the entire Home Guard, the unorganized revolutionary masses. At this point, the formation of a regular Red Army is still out of the question. We must be victorious without an army built in advance by means of masses under the leadership of the party. For this reason, even the most heroic struggle may avail us naught if our party has been prepared organizationally in advance for this situation. 58. In revolutionary situation, it has often been observed that the revolutionary central leadership proved incapable of performing its task. The proletariat can achieve splendid things in the revolution as regards the lesser organizational tasks. In its headquarters, however, in most part, disorder, bewilderment, and chaos reign. Even the most elementary division of labor can be lacking. The intelligence department in particular is often so bad that it does more harm than good. There is no depending upon communications. When clandestine mailing and transport, safe houses, clandestine printing presses are needed, these are usually totally at the mercy of fortunate or unfortunate coincidence. The organized enemy, every provocation has the best prospects for success. Nor can it be otherwise unless the leading revolutionary party has organized special work for these purposes in advance. For example, observing and exposing the political police requires special practice. An apparatus for clandestine communications can function swiftly and reliably only through extended, regular operation, etc. Every legal communist party needs some kind of secret preparations, no matter how minimal, in all these areas of specialized revolutionary work. For the most part, we can develop the necessary apparatus even in these areas through completely legal work, provided that in the organization of this work, attention is paid to the kind of apparatus that should arise from it. For example, the bulk of the apparatus for clandestine communications, for a courier system, clandestine mailings, safe houses, conspiratorial transport, etc., can be worked out in advance through the precisely systematized distribution of legal leaflets and other publications and letters. 59. The communist organizer regards every single party member and every revolutionary worker from the outset as he will be in the future historic role as soldier in our combat organization at the time of revolution. Accordingly, he guides him in advance into that nucleus and that work which best corresponds his future position and a type of weapon. His work today must also be useful in itself, necessary for today's struggle, not merely a drill which the practical worker today does not understand. This same work, however, is also part training for the important demands of tomorrow and tomorrow's final struggle.